If you're worried your kid's school isn't safe, if you're wondering whether you can even afford to have a child anymore, then maybe it's time to start asking the uncomfortable questions. Is it the world that changed, or just the country we're living in?
Kids. I never wanted children, especially not in the US. But after moving to China, something changed. Seeing the strong family culture here, the collectiveness, the way generations support each other, it drew me in. For the first time, I felt the pull to be a family man. Here's why China changed my mind.
I never wanted kids, not in America, at least. Then I moved to China, and everything changed. 14 years later, I'm a father here in China, and the reality of parenting in this country is nothing like the fear-mongering headlines back home in the US. Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome back to the channel. I've been living in China for over 14 years. Ready to hear and see some truth? Watch this video. In China, no guns, no lockdown drills, no school shootings, no strangers screaming at you for disciplining your kids in public. Just safety, community, and a quality of life that I never thought was possible in China. So why does the West make parenting feel like a battle, while China makes it feel so peaceful? Let's talk about it. You ever look around and wonder, is this the world, the place where I want to raise my kids? And I'm talking about the US. Because I did. Someone who never wanted kids in the US. China changed my mind, and I realized I wanted to have kids. I gotta be honest with you. Everything I was told about raising a family in China was wrong. Continue to watch this video. I'll show you what it's really like to raise a family in China. The safety, the schools, the community, and the peace in China. I wish that existed in the US today. But what do we have? Discrimination, racism. It's not safe, and our children are bullied. Is that what we want for our kids? Just a lovely day walking around in Shenzhen. A little bit of water here. There's been a lot of rain lately in China. Typhoon season. Floods everywhere. This water's a lot higher than it normally is. The one thing I noticed when I'm walking around anywhere in China, there's just peace. You don't see any trouble. It's just handed down from the family to the kids through the years. This country just doesn't have troublemakers, but you just don't see any thugs, no gangs, no drug addicts, no homeless people. I mean, if this was back in the US, there would be people sleeping all over this park. Not here. It's just clean and peaceful. I say it in all my videos because I grew up in the US and I saw what's going on in the US now. Parks are infested with drug addicts and homeless people. It's sad. It's not here. And the day I see it and I have this camera in my hands, I'll press record and I'll show you. But for the China haters out there that say there's homeless everywhere, come to China and show me. I'll buy lunch. at this, just clean. No less fortunate people sleeping in a sleeping bag, a blanket, cardboard box, tent. No, it's early right now. That's when I get out, beat the heat. That's why there's not too many people. But just look what they do here for the people, for the community. They have these tents so people can have shade. There's no secret, it gets hot in South China. I'm cooking now, but this is for the people. Show you where I'm walking around. This is where I'm at. And I'm gonna head in to get some cool air at Upper Hills Shopping Center, which is straight ahead on this clean, safe walkway. Even have music playing in the background. You don't know how out of shape you are until you walk up an incline and you get a little winded. Whew. And this is a long walkway with an incline, a steady incline. This is what I should be doing, taking the easy way. Even in a park area, when you start to get out of the park, there's just amazing infrastructure, buildings. Just look at this building. Wow, it's huge. And it's got a hallway to walk through. Let's see how far we can go through here. That's giant. This is like some type of brass or steel. Wow. Let me show you something and we'll get back to the video here. But just look at this. They're not done. Can you see all those cranes out there? They're still building. It's amazing. Check out this bookstore in Shenzhen. It's just beautiful, futuristic. The general public in China, they simply just have amazing stores, shopping centers, malls, libraries, bookstores, you name it. They have it all. If you're a parent or thinking about becoming one, this might change the way you see everything. Let's start with fear, because that's what I heard the most when I told everybody I was moving to China. They would say, "Isn't it dangerous? China, why go there? Are you crazy?" They would say, "If you have kids, how will you raise your children in China?" They would say, "Don't you care about your freedom?" But after a decade of living here, raising a family here, I can tell you, there is freedom. And those fears come from a place of total ignorance. And that's the West. Because the truth, raising children in China has been the most peaceful, supported, and safe experience of my life. Let's talk community. In China, parenting is never isolated. In every park, there's a wonderful grandma keeping an eye on everyone. There's always pleasant strangers who will gently remind your kid not to run near traffic. And no one ever gets offended by someone trying to help out. It's not just your kid, it's our kid. That's the mindset here in China. I've seen elderly volunteers walk kids home from school or stand by their side while their parents come to pick them up. Neighbors share food. Parks are full of families, day or night, and nobody's glued to their phones. They're enjoying time being spent together. In the US, we lock everything up. Homes, cars, bikes, you name it, we lock it up. But here in China, look at this. E-bikes, bicycles, nothing is locked up. Why? There's no thieves. Let's see. I'm sure I could find one lock. Here we go. This person locked up their bike. 2 people locked up their bike. But everybody else, nobody locks up their bike because it's safe. Here you go. Nothing's locked up. We track our kid phones. We worry about school shootings every single day. In China, kids take the metro to school. Yes, taking the metro to school, buses to school, or walking to school. It's all done safely in China. Kids can play at the park at night and play safely. There's no worry about drug dealers in China. Nobody's going to try to sell your kids drugs in China. There's no predators hanging around parks. No online predators trying to get your kids to do horrific things. And that's right, no child molesters hanging out in parks or other places. Your kids are safe in China. There are no guns here, none, unless they're with the military or the police. The level of trust here isn't just refreshing, it's life-changing, and I mean that. Ask any parent what they want the most, and that's a peace of mind that their children are safe. And that's what China gives me every day, and that's a peace of mind that my children are safe. Education here is tough, but deeply respected. Kids are taught discipline, responsibility, and respect at a young age. In China, teachers are respected, and schools are very safe. And yes, it's academically intense, but it's producing some of the smartest, most talented, hardworking kids in the entire world. Here's the best part. I don't have to worry about my kids being exposed to extreme ideology and that's inappropriate content by activist teachers pushing their agendas. School is school, not a place for politics, not a battleground for agendas. It's some of the small things that you appreciate in China. The cleanliness, the safety, the affordable housing, the affordable health care, the efficient metros, the efficient high-speed rails that will get you anywhere within China, safely and on time. The fact that the playgrounds are clean, safe, and everywhere in China, and are being used by the people, not like in the US, that are used by the homeless. Americans in China have mentioned you don't realize how stressful parenting is in the West. until you live somewhere else that takes the pressure off families from it piling on. In China, there's no constant worrying if your kids are safe or not. There's no worrying if they're being tracked by a predator. There's no worrying that someone's going to try to push drugs on them. You don't worry about these things in China. But in the West, it exists. When I look back and think about where I came from and what the West has become today, it's not good. There's a lot of homelessness and a lot of drugs. It's turning into an infestation of drugs in the US. I don't think people want to raise a family anymore in the conditions in the West anymore. And it's not because they hate kids, but because it feels impossible today. Housing is not affordable. Schools feel unsafe, and the culture is broken. Do you want your kids growing up in a society like that? Meanwhile, in China, children are seen as a blessing, and everything around the children is to support growth, not fear. So if you're watching this from a place where you feel like parenting is a fight, if you're worried your kid's school isn't safe, if you're wondering whether you can even afford to have a child anymore, then maybe it's time to start asking the uncomfortable questions. Is it the world that changed, or just the country we're living in? Because I used to be afraid of China. Now I can't imagine raising my family anywhere else. And maybe, just maybe, that says more about the West than it does about the East. Because the East is secure and safe. So hey, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. And do me a favor, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. And do me one more favor, comment below. I want to read your comments. So this is Chris, signing off from China. Everybody be good, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one.
What a sunset here in China, huh? Is that beautiful or what? It's nice to see the sun setting after so many consistent days of rain and clouds. What a beautiful afternoon here in Shenzhen, China. Hope everybody's having a terrific day. Be good. Talk to you soon.